Exactly.
So I'm not a big fan of Jordan Peterson, FYI, to those of you that might be assuming that or interested in assuming that. I actually don't appreciate the fact that he's turned into a stone rather than an open person that, for a long time he was known for. Yeah, but this video is really not about that. It's rather a reflection of. It's a reflection on the topic of who I am, who I'm trying to become, and quote, the progress that I've made so far on this journey, which is long. And I know it's long because the path is not always clear, and life doesn't have an exact blueprint of sorts. It's it's not like a clearly marked out thing, and especially with all the sort of quote issues that I have, especially for me, it's not going to be a clear path. It's like you just have to read 2 sentences of my biography to realize that nothing in my life so far has been a clear path, and I've sort of been trying to come to terms with that, that it's actually a part of who I am, and I shouldn't try to change that. It's actually something that makes me interesting and different and, valuable in my own way. A lot of these things, if you think about it, it's, like, it's like issues. Like, you have to solve them. You have to, quote, fix them, because modernity is so calculated and everything has a calculus behind it. And, when you go on Amazon, every price is neatly organized in a way that, gives you the lowest cost, but also destroys your local business, and also at the same time makes the most money for the corporation, for the credit card companies. And, it like, and if your life doesn't fall into that neatness, then you must have issues, because, I gave you the example of e-commerce, but the rest of modern life is exactly like that, or at least we're headed towards that. Everything has to be accounted for and rationed, and it has to be reasonable, and, hide your emotions. And people, in my life, my siblings have said that to me at times too, because there's been this, generational global brainwashing that, in order to be, quote, successful, you have to, look professional and serious, and, quote, control your emotions, because obviously our emotions should be controlled. It's all this idea of control that is breaking people. And I swear to God, every person that I meet these days suffers from this. Every person, in one way or another. It's the epidemic that people are afraid to even talk about, because it somehow challenges the very way of life that so many are pushing for, and striving for. Reflection is important, because before you try to change the world, before you try to heal the world, you have to realize that I have to realize that I have to heal myself. I have to work on myself. I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. It's not the other way around. In fact, I would say that most of the problems in the world, it's caused by a lot of people who, act the other way around. They like, I have this idea, and if we just do this, I swear to God, if we just do this, if we put $50 billion into this, and if we invade this country, I swear to God, the world will be a better place. I swear to God, the world will be a better place. These people will be happy. There will be a Starbucks in every corner, and they will be educated. They will be enlightened and evolved. And, we're progressing toward the end of history, which is democracy. So, of course, we are obliged, we are obligated to pursue this because we have the right idea in mind. So, I mean, how many times in history should we see this happen before we realize that you don't just try to go outside yourself to fix something? It's not the external stuff. You don't invade a land and drop bombs. How many times do we have to see that in order to realize the very truth that doesn't work? That stuff doesn't work. Right? I mean, I thought, anyway, so the point of this whole thing is reflection. It's to realize that the change happens within, and the psyche and the inside. That's where the real work happens. Whatever you do, whether you write, whether you paint, whether you make spreadsheets, whether you go out to get groceries, all that work happens in the inside. And that requires a lot of meditation and real thinking, the kind of thinking that's not directed at anything in particular, right? It's the kind of thinking that allows you to sit by yourself and really consider things in a non-judgmental way. I mean, so far, all of what I've just said is just me figuring out things for myself and how I'm thinking about these things. And my thinking is constantly evolving, and I'm having daily breakthroughs almost. Every single day there are, tiny little miracles, which are not so tiny, I would say. They're actually profound and earth-shattering for me when I consider them, and I really take the time to acknowledge them. I'm greatly moved by them. And this is the point, right? This is what I've been trying to get at, which is, for me, that's the most valuable thing. It's the most valuable thing. Because there's a lot of noise out there, and a lot of it seems like clutter. A lot of it seems like profoundly disorganized and chaotic and disturbing. But and that creates suffering, right? It's like none of this makes any goddamn sense. Well, it's like, yeah, if you spent the time, to just be with your thoughts, they would make more sense. I spent years trying to be disassociated and to achieve things that were completely external to me. Like I would actually force myself to sit and not feel anything, like physically, like I was trying to deaden my nerves. Like, just sit in this chair And don't think about the back pain or the, joint pain or whatever. Like, don't think about any of those things, and really, like, deaden all that stuff in order to get something, you know, from what this person is saying, like the sound that's coming from this person's mouth. Totally ruined my sense of spontaneity and, you know, impromptu humor and verbal joustings, in a way. So, I mean, it felt like it was fatal. But now I'm coming to, realize that I can always deprogram myself from the heinous ways in which I harshly treated myself. But this is the kind of thing that happens at every single educational institution. It's about, quote, being rational and orderly and whatever. And I'm not talking about theater or the visual arts, things like that. I don't know what happens there, but, as far as academia and, that kind of stuff goes, yeah, people have to be disassociated. Unless being disassociated is your natural MO, in which case it's a great fit for you, man. It's, congratulations, you found your calling in life. And it's to be disassociated. A couple of years ago, back in 2016, yes, 2016, this was fall of 2016, I had a friend, still have the friend, he hasn't fallen off the face of the earth, he's still here, who said, I received a lot of criticism actually from him, but I was like, don't do that. But at one point he said, you use a lot of and like. Because I was always like, people have their way of speaking. They use filler words. What can you do about it? I mean, but here's the point. I mean, I was naive. He was naive. He's acknowledged that much. Which is a sign of wisdom, right? When somebody says that, it's like, all I know is I know nothing. It's like, fantastic. That's the beginning of wisdom. But the point of that is to say that the reason why I mentioned that is, there used to be a point in time when I was open to receiving criticism like that, because I was not okay with who I was, with who I am. I was very unhappy. I was very, very unhappy. I was like desperate. I was like, somebody make me your slave. Tell me what to do. Because I don't know why I'm here. And you must know. Of course, that's something for me to figure out. That's something that I have to do. Nobody else can tell me, oh, this is why you are here. Anyway, don't you guys like all the graffiti here? It's amazing. I mean, that's what art is all about, right? It's supposed to show you the things that are profoundly possible. I like this saying by Damien Hirst. He says, art is, like magic. It's like 1 + 1 = 3. It's like parent and like two parents, like mom, dad, get together and they create 3. 1 + 1 is 3. 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is 3. Do you get it? It took me a while to get it. Reflection, right? Reflection. The stuff that I do is a reflection of what's going on inside me. That's where the real work happens. That's where real thinking happens. That's where real evolution happens. And when you think about it that way, it's kind of like the external stuff is kind of arbitrary at that point, because that's, like the stuff on the canvas, it really doesn't matter to me. It's the stuff that's inside of me. That's where the brush strokes happen. And over the past few months, I've said this to quite a number of people, and for the most part, they've been like, "Well, no, of course it's not arbitrary. Are you kidding me? This external stuff is real. I sit at my desk and I make myself happy." It's like, sure thing, yes. Yeah, it's tricky. Like this bumpy road here. Look at that. I'm actually very pleased with the fact that I was able to capture this video without really taking a pause. Look at that, green lights. Here we go. Whoa. Pitch black. Street lights. Whoa. Somebody lives there. Again, street lights. And pitch black. So wait, why are you watching this video? Seriously. I like the color. That lime yellow or whatever. Looked like it was a beetle car. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I just bike through this area and I continue. Suburbia, right? The American dream. Suburbia. 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 The American dream. Oh, not in suburbia anymore. That's the Capitol Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Yep. Ain't she a beauty? Where are all these people going? I swear to God, I never know.